What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very interesting news. As undefeated two-time WBC super middleweight world champion Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez, 25 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, stands at 6'1" with a 75-inch arm reach. He's coming off of a stoppage win over Kyron Davis. That was November 13th of this year. With that said, David Benavidez, he was looking to secure a showdown with fellow Mexican four-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is now currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, that being none other than top three or number one by many people's opinion, Saul Canelo Alvarez, pound for pound king. That's the fight David Benavidez was looking for. 57 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. Canelo Alvarez, 31 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. He just recently beat former IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant, who is the biggest rival of David Benavidez. Okay, so David Benavidez, he lost his belt on the scale. Thus the reason why Canelo Alvarez was able to fight for the vacant WBC title when he faced off against British superstar, who was the WBA super middleweight champion, Caleb Smith, and they added the WBC belt, the vacant WBC belt, to the fight. So they fought for the WBC and the WBA because David Benavidez, he lost his belt on the scale. He's never lost, obviously, in the ring, as he's undefeated, 25 wins, no losses, no draws. Okay, and David Benavidez, he first lost the belt due to recreational use outside the sport of boxing that saw the WBC remove him as the champion, and then he lost the belt the second time on the scale. So he stated that Canelo Alvarez has been avoiding him. That's a fight Canelo Alvarez seemingly just doesn't want. And more importantly, Canelo Alvarez more recently, and his trainer, well-renowned trainer, two-time trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso, stated that David Benavidez is not the challenge that they're looking for. To complete being the best fighter and completely cleaning out the super middleweight division, well, you will have to beat what was considered to be the best super middleweight in the world in David Benavidez. The biggest fight in the super middleweight division was David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. That was viewed as the biggest fight in the division before Canelo Alvarez decided to settle down and campaign at the super middleweight division. The biggest fight in boxing in the super middleweight division was Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. And David Benavidez, well, he was viewed as the best super middleweight in the world, okay? And so in order to say that you completely cleaned out the division, you will have to beat David Benavidez, okay? Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso says that he doesn't represent the challenge that they're looking for to solidify themselves in history. Thus the reason why they're essentially going to vacate the titles and move up to cruiserweight to challenge the WBC cruiserweight Lunga Mukubu, okay, for his WBC cruiserweight title at 190 now, okay? So with that said, David Benavidez, he's looking for the best challenges out there. Now, another guy who just fought last night, an impressive win, that being undefeated two-division world champion, who currently is the WBO World Boxing Organization reigning middleweight champion, superstar boxer Demetrius Boo Andrade. 31 wins, no losses, no draws, 19 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, stands at 6 foot tall with a 74-inch arm reach, okay? He just beat Jason Quigley, who had a record of 19 wins, 1 loss, no draws. He TKO'd him, knocked him out in the second round. Demetrius Andrade has been trying and looking to secure the biggest fights possible, unification bouts. More so, he was trying to get two-time middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Gennady Triple G Golovkin in the ring. But Gennady Golovkin, who holds the IBF title right now, is looking to unify against Lyoto Murata in December. Murata holds the WBA title, okay? That they're looking to fight December 29th, and they both show little to no interest in fighting Demetrius Andrade, okay? Another guy comes into place is undefeated two-division world champion, who currently is the WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jamal Lyons Only Charlo, 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 6'1" with a 74-inch arm reach. He is 31 years of age himself, okay? Those are fights that Demetrius Andrade has been looking to secure and has been unable to secure those fights. So yesterday, after the fight with Jason QUIGLEY, Demetrius Andrade, he called out every opponent possible. He called out his promoter, Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn. He called out Chris Mannix, the ring announcer and a colorful analyst for DAZN. He stated that, he was trying to get a fight with former WBO junior middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Jaime Munguia, who's undefeated and recently fought last week against Gabe Rosado, in which he got a unanimous decision victory. He was Demetrius Andrade's mandatory, and that didn't come to fruition. So with that said, he can't get Jaime Munguia in the ring. He can't get Jamal Charlo in the ring, Triple G or Murata in the ring. So he was asked about going up to super middleweight, okay? And what we thought about going up to super middleweight. So he stated that he would love to go up to super middleweight, but he doesn't want to go to super middleweight if he can't get the champions and the best fighters in the ring, okay? He doesn't want to go to super middleweight for no reason. So he stated that if he's going to go to super middleweight, he wants to go to super middleweight and he wants to fight the best opposition, the champions up there, okay? Now, he stated that, this being Demetrius Andrade, he don't want to go up to super middleweight and he's on hold, okay? He's on the shelf. Well, that would be Canelo Alvarez putting him on the shelf. But he can't be on the shelf because Canelo Alvarez is going to vacate his titles, okay? You heard it here first. I continue to tell you guys he's going to vacate the super middleweight titles. Canelo Alvarez is never going to defend the super middleweight titles. Canelo Alvarez is moving all the way up to 190, okay? He is not going to come back down to 168. Canelo Alvarez, he may come back down to 175, okay? Which is a stretch. But if anything, Canelo Alvarez is not going to come down to 168. That's for sure, okay? There's no way he's going to gain 22 pounds of muscle, move all the way up to 190, fight at cruiserweight, and then come all the way back down 2 weight classes. History shows you that that's not in Canelo's plans, okay? When Canelo Alvarez moved to 68, did he come back down to 154? Absolutely not. When Canelo Alvarez moved up to 75, the light heavyweight to challenge Sergey Crusher Kovalev for his WBO title at light heavyweight. Did he come back down to 60? Absolutely not, okay? Canelo Alvarez is going to move up to 190. Is he going to come back down to 168? No, he's going to come back down to 175, okay? That allows him to have the frame, the body, to compete with guys like Arthur Beterbiev, the undefeated unified WBC IBF light heavyweight champion, or Dimitri Bivol, the WBA undefeated light heavyweight champion. You know, that's the route that Canelo Alvarez is going to go. He's not going to go back down to super middleweight, okay? So that means those belts will be vacated. And when those belts are vacated, that means that they're going to order, which is David Benavidez. He's going to fight for the quote-unquote interim WBC super middleweight title, against whom is yet to be disclosed. But with that said, it'll eventually turn into him being a super WBC champion at super middleweight. So David Benavidez and his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., they called out Demetrius Andrade. They said that they want to fight Demetrius Andrade because Demetrius Andrade is a guy that Canelo Alvarez is avoiding, and they want to show that they want to fight all the guys that Canelo Alvarez deemed to be the boogeyman. So if Canelo Alvarez deems Demetrius Andrade as the boogeyman, they feel like Canelo Alvarez would lose to Demetrius Andrade. So they want to take the fight with Demetrius Andrade. That will be huge for Demetrius Andrade. He's never held the WBC title. Okay, he moved up to super middleweight. I'm sure President Mauricio Suleiman and the board of the World Boxing Council would oblige David Benavidez to fight Demetrius Andrade in a mega massive super middleweight title showdown for the vacant WBC title, okay? Then he could look to start to collect the belts. Maybe a fight with Caleb Plant. We got to see where Caleb Plant stands in the equation. He just recently lost to Canelo Alvarez via 11th round knockout. You know, maybe Caleb Smith moved up to light heavyweight. But, you know, we have Anthony Durrell also at super middleweight, okay? He's looking to regain the title. Now, I don't know how the friendship and the relationship is between Demetrius Andrade and Anthony Durrell, but if Demetrius Andrade truly wants to make a splash and make a statement, then you're going to have to fight everybody on the table, right? Because it's business, it's not friendship. So with that said, David Benavidez is calling out Demetrius Andrade, and he's saying, let's make the fight happen. We are two guys that Canelo Alvarez is both avoiding, so why not fight each other and make a statement? This is a fight. I like Demetrius Andrade in this fight. If he's on his P's and Q's, he's slick. He's a southpaw, power, accurate. Amateur pedigree is huge. You know, this is a fight I would love for Demetrius Andrade to take. It's a winnable fight, but it's also a winnable fight for David Benavidez because we saw Demetrius Andrade when he fought against Liam Williams. He struggled with the pressure of Liam Williams. David Benavidez is 6'1" with a 75-inch arm reach, so obviously he's bigger than Demetrius Andrade. He has a bigger frame. He's a pressure fighter. He has hand speed. He has power. He has shown to have a great chin. This would make for a massive fight. It's time now that these guys stop counting on Canelo Alvarez and start to count on themselves. This would be a huge fight that Demetrius Andrade needs to take. He won't have to sit on the shelf and wait. As he stated, he don't want to go up to super middleweight and sit on the shelf and wait for opportunities. Well, you don't have to wait. And I'm sure Demetrius Andrade holding a WBO title, the WBO, they operate in the manner of if you move up to the next weight class, they automatically make you the mandatory. So he could fight for the vacant WBO title. He and David Benavidez can have an agreement in place that Demetrius Andrade fights for the vacant WBO title at super middleweight against whom I'm not certain of. And then, you know, David Benavidez, he faces off against another opponent for the vacant WBC title, and then they come together and have a massive unification bout en route to one of them looking to become the undisputed champion. Because again, there is not going to be, there's not going to be any Canelo Alvarez coming back down to super middleweight and defending the titles. That is not going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen. He's going to vacate the titles, okay? He's not coming way back down to 168 after going up to 190, okay? So at super middleweight, you have Danny Jacobs and Demetrius Andrade. You have Parker, you know, who's an undefeated British fighter, as the #1 challenger at super middleweight. There's talks that David Lemieux is possibly going to fight David Benavidez for the vacant WBC title. That's huge, right? So you have David Lemieux versus David Benavidez, and then Demetrius Andrade needs to go up there and fight Danny Jacobs, who's #2 in the WBO ranking system, okay? Or he fights Parker for the mandatory, for the vacant WBO title. He could fight Danny Jacobs. That would be a huge fight. I know they have a friendship and a relationship, and they vowed not to ever fight. But Danny Jacobs versus Demetrius Andrade would be a huge fight. I'm sure that you know, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom can make a fight with Zach Parker and Demetrius Andrade, okay? So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.